big old plastic Oogleosaurus, trademark. A fanged eagle crossed with a lion, bright red. Bang! When that baby hit the wall, I'd have to be dead not to wake up. Foolproof, right? Not quite. Around 6:28, I was in the middle of a nightmare. I'd had this dream way too many times. Me, running through the jungle in a toga, chased by snarling, drooling, pig-like beasts whose screeches fill the smoky sky. Nice, huh? Usually, I wake from this dream when a gap in the earth opens beneath my feet. But this time, I fell in, down into the darkness, to my death. At the moment of contact, the gaseous giant burped in real life. The sound woke me up. The coffee maker volcano alarm went off, and the Oogleosaurus whacked me between the eyes. Which, in a nutshell, is how the worst morning of my life began. The last morning I would awaken in my own bed. "Razzle frazzle scrazzle wazzle wazzle!" I screamed, which means I can't tell you the actual words. I sprang off my bed in agony. That was when I caught a glimpse of Redbeard on the sidewalk, which caused me to drop to the floor, embarrassed to be seen even by a whacked-out barefoot stranger. Unfortunately, my butt landed squarely on a sharp Oogleosaurus wing, which made me scream again. That was way too much screaming for someone who just turned 13. I lay there with gritted teeth, wishing I'd used the alarm clock. In my mind, I saw Vanessa goading me. "You think too much, Jack," which she used to say about 100 times a day. Maybe because I think too much. Always have. I got off the floor, clutching my head. Redbeard was padding down the street, his feet slapping the pavement. "Next time, close your mouth," I grumbled under my breath as I staggered to the bathroom. I should have wondered who he was and why he was here, but I couldn't stop thinking of my nightmare, which still lingered like the taste of moldy cheese. I tried to replace it with thoughts of math. Unfortunately, it felt about the same. Looking in the mirror, I saw that the Oogleosaurus had made a gash on my forehead. Not too deep, but it looked pretty bad, and it stung. I turned on the tap, dampened a washcloth, and pushed aside a mass of rat-brown hair to uncover my wound. As I dabbed it, I noticed a little tuft of blonde hairs sticking out from the back of my head. Weird. I'd never seen them before. Without Dad around to bug me, I hadn't had a haircut in a while, so those blonde hairs looked like loose wires. As I leaned closer to look, a sharp creak made me spin around. "Vanessa?" I called out. Aha! She'd heard my scream. I imagined her cowering behind the door, planning how not to be blamed for whatever happened, but she wasn't there. I glanced at the bathroom clock. 6:39. I had to leave the house by 6:45, but I wanted to see that little blonde patch. I had enough time. I pulled open the bathroom cabinet and reached for a hand mirror I hadn't touched in years. Dad and I had bought it at CVS when I was in 2nd grade for an art project. Picking it up, I looked at the message I'd carved into the plastic frame. March 2nd. Happy birthday, Mom. I turned the mirror around. On the back, I'd laminated a photo to the surface. In it, I was 4 years old and dressed in a puffy winter coat, sliding down a gentle hill on a sled. The white snow was tinged yellow-green with age. Mom was on the hilltop laughing, wearing her favorite Smith College wool jacket. Dad was at the bottom, turned away. It was our game, boom to Daddy. I'd slide into his legs and he would keel over, howling in pretend pain. Then he'd carry me back to the top, and we'd do it all over again. I smiled. Back then, I thought this game was hilarious. Every little thing we did was fun. Life was pretty perfect before Mom died. Before I started having those nightmares. Before Dad had decided home was a place to avoid. Turning my back to the big bathroom mirror, I used the hand mirror to see behind my head. That was when I realized the blonde hair wasn't blonde. It was white. And it wasn't just a couple of hairs. I patted them down and noticed a pattern, an upside-down V. I tried to scrape it off with my fingernails, hoping it was some kind of weird stain, but nothing happened. My hair had just